Stretchy, stretchy. Hello and welcome to Johnny K Bets. This is going to be my new video that I'll be posting in the middle of the week, breaking down some of my favorite bets for the upcoming UFC event. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Alright, so let's get to the bets here. Okay, so first things first, I know everybody bets different amounts. So some people bet $100, $25 each bet. So for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna go with units instead of dollar amounts. I'll admit I don't drop like $1,000 per bet. I mean, frankly, I don't even do 100 that often. But it's okay, whatever you bet. I mean, whatever you feel comfortable with, just make sure you just don't go overboard and you don't bet it more than you can bet. As long as it's fun, it's entertainment. Okay, so let's kick off the show here. So for my first bet, I'm gonna kind of go over my Hail-Mary Parlay that I like to do every week. If you've watched my video earlier this week, Johnny K Picks, it's basically going to be the same fighters. So if you want a little more in-depth breakdown of each of these fighters, go ahead and watch that video from earlier this week. But I'll go over this real quick here. So for my Hail-Mary Parlay, I'm taking Impa, Gravely, Buckley, Clark, and Smith all money line. And I got that at plus 1344. And usually for my Hail-Mary Parlays, I don't like to bet more than like a quarter unit. Why? Because frankly, they usually don't hit. And also, I don't do more than 5 fighters. The reason why I don't do more than 5 fighters is because the more you put on there, the harder it is going to be hit. And half the time, you have a heavy favorite in one of those Hail Mary parlays, and that's the one that kills it. I also like to switch it up too a little bit. I like to put maybe an underdog in there, maybe a heavy favorite, and then just some guys that you think are going to win it. And honestly, this is just a fun bet, really. Do I expect to win this? No, absolutely not. But the good thing about it is when you do hit it, it is really awesome and it gives you a good feeling. Like the last 2 weeks I went 5-0 and I hit my Hail-Mary parlays, so can't complain with that. Okay, so for the next bet I'm going to break down is an underdog bet here. So there's actually a decent amount of underdogs this card that I kind of was thinking about playing. You can make a case for taking Spann at plus 150. With his power in the early rounds, he can potentially knock out Smith. Or you can take Clark at plus 20. If he can survive the first round against Ian, then I think he's going to take it by a decision. But with my underdog bet, I'm going to go a little away from my earlier picks here. I'm going to go with Mandy Bohm at plus 100 to win over Ariane Lipski. Now I'll admit this is more of a fade on Lipski. In the last 2 fights, Lipski got knocked out and I'm just not impressed with her fighting at all. Bohm, on the other hand, she has a solid ground game and I like her striking a lot actually. And I think she can come in here. I know this is your UFC debut and she can pull off the upset, and not to mention she's at plus money right now. So I'm gonna take a stab at this one. I'm gonna put a full unit bet on this one at plus 100 for Bohm to win on the money line. My next bet, I'm gonna do a 2-fighter parlay here. I'm gonna take Gravely as my first leg at minus 200. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Gravely a lot. I like him as a fighter. I like this matchup. He is normally the shorter fighter, but he's used to that. I think there was 1 or 2 fights that he might have been the bigger fighter, but normally he knows how to fight bigger fighters, so that doesn't scare me as much. But I think Gravely here can get the takedowns early and often. I think he can definitely keep control on top, and whether it's by knockout, ground and pound, or decision, I think he's going to get the win here. And for the second leg of this parlay, I'm going to go a little off course, but I have a gut feeling on this one. I'm going to take Pannie Kianzad at plus 110. She's been on a roll actually, and she's won her last 4 fights. She's looked pretty good. She has good striking and a good clinch game to go with very good takedown defense. So if Pennington tries to take her down, I don't think she's going to be able to get her down. And also, Pennington's an okay striker as well, but I think Pannie has a little bit of an edge in the striking department. But I definitely think Pannie can come out here and win by decision, whether it's 30-27 or 29-28. So I got both of them parlayed at plus 215, and I'm going to throw a 1 unit bet on that as well. Okay, so the fourth bet I'm going to break down here is a couple over and under bets that I'm going to parlay. The first fight over and under that I'm going to use for my first leg is the Montel Jackson and JP Buys fight, which I'm going to take the under 1.5 here at plus 120. I have no idea why it's plus money. I think Montel's going to come in here and basically do whatever he wants to do with JP Buys. Montel is definitely going to be the bigger fighter here, and it's also worth mentioning that JP is moving up a weight class. He usually fights in the flyweight. I personally don't think this is going to get out of the first round, so I'll definitely take that under 1.5 rounds at plus 120. And the second leg for this parlay, I'm going to go with the over in the Buckley Arroyo fight at minus 120. So Arroyo is basically, like I said in my earlier video, he's just a 1-round fighter. After that first round, he has his cardio issues. Before that, though, in the first round, he he can be dangerous, whether it's on the mat or striking. But how I see this fight playing off is I think both fighters are going to take it easy. I think Buckley does know that Arroyo is a one-round fighter, so he's going to play it slow and try to get past the first round here. And then once that second round starts, anything can happen. This fight can end early in the second round, late in the second round, but I'm leaning towards later in the second, maybe early third round, when Arroyo's cardio is super gassed out and he can't do anything. So I got both the over 1.5 and the under 1.5 in both those fights at plus 296. I'm going to throw a 1-unit bet on that as well. Okay, so for my last bet I'm going to break down here is going to be my favorite prop bet of the night. I'm going to go with Anthony Smith by submission, and that's at plus 275. I see a lot of people taking Spann in this fight, which I could totally get. You can make a case for it, but I really think Smith and his experience, he's going to get out of that first round, which that's when Spann is the most dangerous, and he's going to use his grappling in the later rounds to eventually wear him down and get that sub, whether it's in the third or fourth round. And once again, I'm going to put a 1-unit bet on that. Another prop that you could do if you're feeling a little frisky, you could sprinkle $5 or $10 down maybe on Smith to win in rounds 3 and 4. That's also a good bet. I may do that depending on the night I have. If I win a couple, I'm up a couple bets here and I'm up a little bit, I might throw $5 or $10 down on that. I could definitely see Smith winning in round 3 or 4. Okay, so to recap here, I have a quarter-unit bet Hail-Mary Parlay on Impa, Gravely, Buckley, Clark, and Smith all money line, and that's at plus 1344. I got a 1-unit bet on Bohm money line at plus 100. I got a 1-unit bet on Gravely and Gianzad money line at plus 215. A 1-unit bet on the Jackson buys under 1.5 rounds, and Buckley and Arroyo over 1.5 rounds at plus 296, and another 1-unit bet on Anthony Smith to win by submission, and that's at plus 275. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my bet breakdowns for this week. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button like I said if you haven't already. And if you choose to ride with me for any of these bets, good luck. Also, if you have any sneaky bets or if you have any crazy bets that you want to share below in the comments, go ahead and do it. It's always fun to hear everybody's bets that they like to do, so don't be shy. Good luck, everybody, and happy fight night.